Now, there's going to be a flurry of by-elections today in Ditsobotla District Municipality. 20 wards and 19 proportional representation seats are up for grabs in the Lichtenburg-based council. The Northwest municipality was dissolved over gross infighting and maladministration. 15 parties and an independent candidate were expected to contest today. Moloko Moloto is watching the by-elections for us in the Northwest today, joining us now for the latest. And how is the voting been going? Moloko, earlier when we spoke to you, you said there were no queues really, and the turnout was a little bit slow.
Well, that is true, Braden. In fact, we went to a few voting stations, and because of the rain, and understandably so, there were just a few number of people who were trickling in, and in the main, it was people who were driving themselves. Of course, we were told that the voting stations opened at about 7 o'clock and they're expected to close at 9 o'clock. But for an update, let us speak to the Provincial Electoral Officer of the IEC. Her name is Dr. Tumelontle Tiba. Ma'am, I am aware you are the most busiest woman today in town, but just give us an update. What is the latest in as far as this ongoing by-elections are concerned?
You know, we were fortunate enough to have the special votes as a dry run for today, being the main day yesterday, because at the time that we opened at 8 o'clock yesterday, 87 of the 97 stations that were supposed to opened, and the other 10 could not because of the conditions of the roads. We could not reach at the voting stations on time. Now this morning, because of that experience, we were able to open all 100 of our stations at 7 o'clock in the morning. We hope to close at 2100, 9 o'clock this evening. And we will then convert the stations into counting centers and start counting, and we hope that we'll be done counting by 2 o'clock.
Tell us about the voter turnout. You did say earlier that you have about 71,000 registered voters here. Did you see them coming out in numbers? We are aware that there was rain earlier.
You know, this is a by-election, and naturally by-elections do not take place on a public holiday. So we normally expect between 20 and 25% voter turnout. So of the 71,914 registered voters, we are expecting between 14,000 and 17,000 voter turnout. But as you said, the rain this morning stopped a lot of people from going to stations, and some who were already in queues had to go back home because they did not want to be wet. We hope that now that there's a bit of a reprieve, they'll be able to go back to the stations.
I'm not too sure if you have the number of people who are eligible to vote in this municipality. As you say, you have about 71,000 of them registered. Do you get a sense that the majority of people who are eligible to vote have also not come out to register?
You know what? We have not actually done a scientific study of voting age directly for this municipality and the 71,914 on our voters roll, so on a segment of the voters roll. So we cannot with confidence say without empirical evidence that indeed we need so many to have.
Fair enough. But I want us to talk then about youth participation. I mean, I have not seen many young people. In fact, in Kolini, where we were at Mura Secondary School, we saw an old woman. She was carried by 2 young men seated on a chair, not a wheelchair. She can't walk. They carried her, and that showed determination that adults are prepared to come out and cast. What's happening with regard to youth voter turnout? Are you happy?
As usual, you know, I need to have empirical evidence that X number of voters turned out, and so many of them were people of this age, for me to say with confidence that there is apathy. I don't want to say that there is apathy when I do not have the results of who turned up at the stations, because I went to one of are two major stations this morning, and I saw a lot of young people in the queues. So I think we should wait until we have the actual stats of the voter turnout to determine whether or not youth responded.
Is Ditsobotla the only municipality where you are conducting by-elections in the province?
Yes, it is. But remember, it's 20 wards and 100 voting districts.
Yeah. When then finally should the people of Ditsobotla expect to know the parties or independents who possibly could have won?
You know, this is a very democratic process. We will count until the party agents are satisfied that we did right with the reconciliation and the counting. And like I said, it might last to 2 a.m., to 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. and then from there we will provide provisional results around 7ish, 8ish, and then finally official results. So probably by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning we will know who won which ward.
All right, ma'am, thank you so much. Let's allow you to go and do your work because I'm aware your phone is ringing endlessly. Well, Brad Ernest, he says by tomorrow at about 10 o'clock at least the people in this area would be aware, would know who would be governing their municipality. And as we've been saying, this municipality was dissolved by the provincial government all because there were divisions. And we saw prior to this vote the three major political parties, the African National Congress, they have sent President Cyril Ramaphosa, even the Treasurer General Paul Mashatile coming during different days to campaign for the ANC. The DA sent the party leader, John Steenhuisen, but also the federal leader, chairperson, Helen Zille, also came down, and Julius Malema, the leader of the Economic Freedom Fighters, also campaigned here. That goes to show that the contest is really important for this major political parties here. Raden?
Thank you very much, Moloko Moloto, for that update there and that interview with the provincial electoral officer in the Northwest, coming to us live from Ditsobotla District Municipality in the Northwest Province.